Hey guys, welcome to the Waiters Academy. Today's video is going to be about handling complaints from the guests. Steps of handling the complaints. And like I said, go to the website of the Waiters Academy, download those steps, copy those steps so you can read it, you can have it with yourself, make sure you learn it because it's going to make your life easier, guys. Once you understand the type of guests, the type of complaints, and you know the steps that you take to handle those complaints, that makes your life much easier. Maybe it happens only once in a while, but when somebody starts complaining and you don't know what to do, it's terrible. I know it personally, it's terrible. So when a guest starts complaining, in a restaurant, usually we cannot take him to a quiet place. He sits at the table, he stays there. But if somebody comes to you on the bar, on the front desk, and start complaining there, you take him to a quiet place, sit him down, maybe offer him a coffee, listen to him, and handle the complaint away from the crowd, away from the other guests. We don't want everybody to get nervous, everybody to start listening. Hey, what happened? Yeah, I have the same problem and stuff like that. We don't want that. We want everything taken care of, quiet and quick. Listen carefully and ask open questions. Now, like I said, what the guest wants. He wants somebody to talk to, somebody to listen to him. So listen very carefully, watch the guest in the eyes, give him a sign that you understand what he's talking about and you are serious, you're taking him serious. Show empathy. Yes, I understood. Try to create the connection with the guest. Yes, sir, I understand absolutely. You have a right. I understand. Yes, I understand. Just keep saying it. Make sure that they feel understood. Appropriately body language. Okay? If you, yeah, I understand. Yeah, no. You stay straight up. You stay respectfully. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand. Yes, appreciate. Of course. Then take notes. If that's something that really complicated, take notes. The guest will see that you are writing something, and he will understand that you are taking him very seriously and you're taking this by your heart. Find the real reason for the complaint. Because sometimes the guys say, hey, you know what? I'm waiting so long and things like that. Okay, how long are you waiting, sir? Well, I'm waiting already 20 minutes for the food. What did you order, sir? Well, I ordered a tomahawk steak. How did you order the tomahawk steak? Medium well. Okay, so tomahawk steak is a 1 kilo, sir. To cook medium well, that's going to take about 45 minutes. It's not going to happen in 20 minutes. Sometimes you got to understand the real problem. And just sometimes there is no problem. Just the guest is unaware of the situation. Or maybe there is another problem, but you dig deeper, you ask questions, you ask open questions, and let the guest talk. And the more he talks, the more you understand what's going on. Take the ownership of the complaint. Now, you are the one that the guest came to and he complained to you. So you are going to take the ownership of the complaint. You're the guest. Take the ownership of the complaint. You're the one the guest came to. Maybe because he knows that you made a mistake. Maybe because he knows that you will be able to take care of the problem. Maybe because you are the closest person to him and that's why he decided to complain to you. But he complained to you and you take ownership of this complaint. Do not transfer the guest to somebody else. And before you understand what exactly is going on, before you take those first couple of steps like trying to understand the real problem, giving the guest acknowledgement that you agree with him, that you are understanding him, all those things, because that is the first thing that brings the pressure down. If the guests come to you and you start complaining and say, yeah, hold on, I don't understand none of this shit. I'll call my manager and hold on here, wait here for 10 minutes. Imagine that. He's been waiting for so long Now he comes to somebody to complain, and his somebody tells him, you know what, I don't understand none of your shit. I'll call my manager, you complain to the manager, and he has to wait another 10 minutes or 5 minutes, maybe the manager is busy. Then he will blow up, and from a small thing that could be fixed in seconds, it's going to be a big problem. Offer the best possible solution and offer a multiple solution. And if those multiple solutions are not good enough for the guest, find another solution. Give him a choice. Focus the solution on the problem. Focus on the solution, not on the problem. When you give the guest a couple of solutions, he starts thinking about, okay, what should I choose now? What should I do now? He stops thinking about his problems and he starts thinking about the solutions. So offer him a couple of solutions, open-minded, not just to answer yes or not, so he can start thinking about it, he starts talking about it. When a guest chooses a solution, what happens next? Now, you explain the steps that you will take to fix that. You specify the time you need to apply those solutions. If you don't know the time, tell him that you will be right back to tell him the time. Then you leave the guest, you go take the steps, and you come back as soon as you have taken those steps, and you give a feedback to the guest. Listen, guys, those are very important steps. I'm telling you right now, you listen probably, but you will forget in a moment. So go to the website, take it, copy it, download it, read it, keep it next to yourself, read it tomorrow again. The better you are of handling complaints, the better your career in the hospitality will be, the better your life in the restaurant will be. Then once you have taken the steps, advise the guests what is happening and when it's going to happen, you can go to the manager and tell him what just happened. I got a guest, he came to me, he complained about this, I took those steps, it's going to take so much time to fix it and fix the problem. I just wanted to let you know everything is okay, but if you want to stop by and ask what's going on, is everything fine, that's your choice. I have taken care of the complaint, everything will be all right. Why I said those steps are so important. The guests feel good in your hands. The very first moment when he voiced the complaints, he sees that he's talking to the right person, and that immediately resolves the situation a little bit at least. The guest understands that we take his complaint seriously, and that makes him feel good about. The guest understands that we appreciate the feedback. One of the steps I think I missed, that's why I tell you go to the website and cover it. You apologize to the guest and you tell him thank you for your complaint because that helped us improve our system, our skills or whatever in the future for the future guests so this never happens again. So that's what it is. And once you say that, thank you, the guest doesn't feel bad about complaining anymore. He feels good about himself because you tell him thank you. Now we are better because of your complaint. Like I said, it's a psychological game, but it's very important to the business, to us, to everybody, to the guests. And those steps, once completed, turn an angry guest into a regular guest. Because as I said, those guests, they leave the restaurant and they go and they tell up to 10 people, hey, you know what happened? I was so pissed off and I went to this guy and this guy took care of everything, and at the end of the night they made me so happy. It was so amazing. This is my restaurant, man. This is my place. I'll go next time. I'll take you guys over there. You see, you will love it. And that's what happens, guys. And we talk about a little bit about the recovery cost. Recovery cost of a guest about complaint is way smaller than finding and bringing a new guest in the restaurant. So it's worth 100 times. We give him drink, maybe coffee, maybe glass of prosecco, maybe glass of wine, maybe a cocktail. Maybe we comp the whole main course. If somebody is waiting for 40 minutes for something because of mistake of the waiter or the kitchen or something like that, we can comp it. We give him free dessert. Hey, free dessert, amazing. Free dessert and coffee, perfect. Maybe you give him certificate. Sorry guys, you had a bad experience today, but I hope at the end of the evening we made everything right. Now, in order to really not lose you as a guest, we give you this gift certificate, $50 to come back and eat in our restaurant. I mean, I say $50, it depends on the restaurant. Sometimes it's a $10, sometimes $15, $25, $50 in a fine dining restaurant. But you have a guest coming to a restaurant because of the $50 certificate in a fine dining restaurant, and they're spending $500, you made your $50 already and then some profit, so it's worth it. And that's how it is, guys. Now, there are some things that we have to avoid when we are handling complaints. 100%. We have to avoid. Do not transfer the blame to another person. Like I said, you made a mistake, you didn't send the food in the kitchen. You don't go to the table and tell her, hey, you know what happened? The kitchen is so stupid, they don't know what they do, they made a mistake, they forgot the whatever. No, nothing like that. Apologize, sir. It's my fault. I made the mistake. I didn't send the food in the order in the kitchen. It's gonna take a couple more minutes, but they're working already. Apologize if I may bring you some kind of glass of prosecco, maybe I bring you some soup, small soup until you're waiting, and things like that. But that's how we do, guys. We don't transfer the blame to somebody else. Don't take it personally. Don't take this complaint personally. It's a big mistake. Oh, this guy tried to put me down, things like that. Nothing like that. People complain because they feel abused, or they feel wronged, or feel dissatisfied. So it's normal. When you're a guest in a place, you also should complain about something that's wrong. Now, the way of the complaint, like we said, those ruthless guests, of course, it's bad, but you step back, tell the guest, excuse me, sir, when you're talking like that, I don't really understand. I cannot help you this way. Please calm down. Let me know exactly what I can do right now. I understand that there is a problem. I understand that this is my fault. I'm willing to take care of it as soon as I can understand what exactly you want me to do. When you're screaming like that to me, I understand. I cannot help you. But those ruthless guests are not so often in our restaurants, so trust me, it's not as bad as you think. Do not critique the guests. Don't ever say, well, that was your fault. You ordered these things like that, so I did everything right and you ordered wrong, and now I bring you this. And even if it's true, even the guest is wrong, you don't go and tell me, hey, it's your fault. We don't critique the guest. Do not become arrogant. The guests sometimes are really arrogant, but we are professionals. We are not guests. We are professional waiters, and we behave in a professional manner. So do not become arrogant. Do not mimic the guest. Do not laugh back to the guest. Remain professional, and you see that will help you a lot, much more than when you start doing stupid things like monkey. Never say that you know about this problem, that some of the guests already told you, and you know about this problem. That means that you're a careless person. The restaurant doesn't care about their guests. A lot of people are already complaining, but you know, and you don't do nothing about it. So you say, yes, sir, I will take care right away. See what I can do. take the steps further, and that's it. Do not give a flimsy reasons, explanations to the guest. For example, you did a mistake, the same mistake with the computer. You didn't send the food down, and you go to the guest and you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I sent this to the kitchen, but the printer didn't work, or the computer broke down. Something happened. The order disappeared between the kitchen and the computer. You know, I did everything right, but I don't know what happened. Something disappeared." The guest read right through your eyes. It's a lie, and it doesn't make you, it makes you, it puts you down in his eyes. So give him the straight reason, and just be apologetic. Everything will be fine. And like I said, do not disrespect the guest. When the guest is talking to you, watch him in the eyes. Not he's talking to you and complaining, and just, "Hey, what's going on this side of the table?" Nah. Stay really composed, stay really professional, watch, explain, nick with your head, say yes sir, thank you, understand, apologize, all those words that will bring the situation down at the first couple of seconds. And then guys, I'll give you the excellent behavior tips. We treat our guests professionally, I just told you. Give him your full attention. Don't pay attention to what's going on next to you on the next table or whatever. I know it's hard because we're busy and a lot of guests are waving at you and stuff like that, but when you have complaint, it's very important that the first couple minutes at least we pay full attention to the guest, and we take care of this complaint immediately. Go the extra mile. Be proactive. Aim to impress the guest with your willingness to take care of the complaint and make him happy guest again. When you're talking to the guests, try to avoid words that don't bring nothing to the table, like "unfortunately," "anyway," "but," "to be honest," "nah," "I can't promise, sir," but nothing. "Would," "might," "I will," "I would do that if," no. "I will check right away with the kitchen, sir." "I might be able to," no. "Let me see what I can do." You have to be straight. No, somehow, if, anyway, but. This just tell the guest that you're trying to, go through around and don't really take care of his problem. And pretty much that's it, guys. I will cut it until this point. Like I said, very important how we look, how we behave, our posture, how we talk, how we see the guest, how we respond, and how we transfer this attention so he knows that we are really taking care and we are really concerned with his problems. This is the first couple seconds of our conversation with a guest's complaint, and this is what brings the situation immediately down. And from there, you take the steps, and this guest, in 99% of the time, will be a happy guest before he leaves the restaurant, if we handle this in a professional manner. He will talk about us, he will talk about the restaurant in a positive manner. You will feel good about yourself because you were able to handle a difficult situation, and your managers will be impressed, your coworkers will be impressed, your life is going to be better. So learn those skills and take care of those complaints. This is one of the qualities, one of the skills that you will have to have in order to grow in the company, to be a supervisor, to be a manager. This is very, very important skill. Without this, you will never be able to grow to a management. Never, ever. So learn it. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have any questions. Share this video with your friends, with your coworkers, and stay out of trouble, make a lot of money, and enjoy life. Thank you. We'll see you again. Ciao.